Oh, yes, yes, yes. It looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are going to unleash the beast. And the one thing they really need to get right going into this game, which has been the same problem every single game this season so far, and the matchups, I'm pretty pumped for it this week. So let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
This video is sponsored by BetUS. It has been a rough road for the Philadelphia Eagles this season for all Eagle fans. Will the Eagles rise to the occasion or continue to play down to the competition? If I'm going all in, giving it my all for a Super Bowl, I'm going to bet $500 and get $7,000 back at the end of the year, and we still stay true to the team that we believe in. But will the problems continue? We will find out. Make sure to check out BetUS. Get a 150% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with promotion code YouTube150. I want to thank BetUS for sponsoring this live stream or video, and let's get back to the content. Now, I know going into this game, there are a lot of storylines going into this whole entire thing. We all know the biggest one going into it, and I think there's a lot to discuss regarding it. Now, A.J. Brown did talk about, because really the last time we had a player face their former team, besides Zach Bond from the Saints game, which I thought he played really well in that game, was A.J. Brown in 2022 after the Titans trade. And A.J. Brown had it couldn't have gone any more perfect than that in that game. I mean, literally the A.J. Brown game versus the Titans literally got the GM fired from the Titans the next day because I know the head coach didn't want to make that trade, and they pulled the trigger on it, and look what A.J. Brown has done for this franchise. It's like we drafted A.J. Brown in some way because I don't get that value, the view from his point of view, his standpoint of that he ever played for another team. It's almost like he was meant to be here, which is amazing. But he did say some things about A.J. Brown, obviously getting prepared for a game like this when you're facing your former team. So he says the beast will probably be let out on Sunday. And he did say, like, if you have opportunities in the game against your former team, like make the routine plays. Don't worry so much on making the big plays. The big plays will come in time during the game. And yeah, like, I am such a big fan of Saquon Barkley because not only is he just a professional, but he's going to have extra juice going into this game. And he's going to play extra physical. And not saying he doesn't do that in other games, but this happens all the time when players get released from a team, trade from another team. When it's in the division, it's even better because there's just more storyline to it, which is fantastic. I don't know how they're going to treat Saquon Barkley in this game, but obviously don't force feed him. But at the same time, you want to give him some opportunities. He better have over 23 carries in this game, 23 carries he should have in this game because he's going to have some extra energy. He won't be as tired going to this game. Obviously, playing at MetLife, watch out for the injuries, watch out for this field because it is the worst. So A.J. Brown just, said a few things about that. And, if there's one thing I really want to happen in this game, obviously the Eagles getting the win, but really Saquon Barkley, I really want him, as much as it's a team game, I really want Saquon Barkley to have like a monster day and make John Mara and the rest of that front office just regret letting this man walk to Philadelphia pretty damn much and letting him do what he's got to do. And that's what I really want. So that's the news on that and how important and how this rivalry just got a little bit more, as much as we don't care about the New York Giants that much. They beat us last year. You want with Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia now, it's going to get a little more crazy. There's going to be a lot of shit talking. There's going to be a lot of stuff going back and forth. So very excited for it going forward. Now, the one thing the Eagles really need to fix now, look, we could talk about, I'm not going to beat a dead horse over and over again. Like every week when we play games, sure, I'll talk about the things that I'm nitpicking, which we all know what the main issues are with this offense, maybe some things with the defense. But let me tell you something. When it comes to this offense, we have got to get out of this hole of not scoring in the first fucking quarter. It's about time. It's week 6, guys. It's almost to a point where I'm getting really annoyed. Just think about this. 5 games, 5 opening drives for the Philadelphia Eagles, 22 yards. 22 yards of offense in 5 games, 5 opening drives in the first quarter. That's just, I mean, man, that is so embarrassing. The only team that hasn't scored in the first quarter in the whole entire NFL. I mean, the scripted plays is what's really annoying me. Whatever is scripted in that first drive, it is just, man, it's bad. And it doesn't look like it's honestly Kellen Moore. It looks like it's more Nick Sirianni. Surprise, it wouldn't shock me. The first 15 plays, whatever it is, there's just something. I don't know how the Eagles. It's almost impossible to think that they just can't get out of their own way in the opening drive. To me, you can't do this every single game and everybody act like, oh, this is just what's been happening, and there's a reason for where it's happening, because I think the wrong person is having control of what plays are being called in that opening drive. If you can at least score in your first drive, your second, whatever, at least in the first quarter, your first 3-4 whatever it is, 3-4 possessions, it makes things so much easier later in this game, as much as we still have issues with this offense going forward in games at times. It would just make it so much easier if you could score a touchdown and maybe a field goal, or make it at least. I'd be very comfortable with at least scoring 10 points in the first quarter or something. I'm not even asking for that much, but that's how bad these opening drives have been for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, and it's not good. So I'm really hoping that they can really get out of their own way, because there's no way you could repeat this every single game, and it's just not changing at all. You know what I mean? Even if you run with Saquon Barkley one time, you throw another 2 times, and the passes are just in the same spot. They're sideline throws. There's nothing. Make it simple. Short passing game, slants, something. We talked about middle of the field a million times. And it just feels like maybe Hurts just can't get out of his own way when it comes to throwing middle of the field, sitting in the pocket. I don't think certain things are catered to this quarterback properly, but it still doesn't give Hurts a good look as a quarterback in general, and it's not giving the coaching staff a great look either. It's really on both of them, and the quarterback really needs to do better. We all know this. Hopefully another game without turnovers, stuff like that. But the opening drives is where I can nitpick anything. But, man, they need to have some opening drives. We need to start, running some clock and getting some momentum, getting Jalen Hurts to a rhythm, and hopefully he can make these passes, and hopefully they run the football a lot with Saquon Barkley. So, there's a lot really going into that whole thing. Matchup-wise, I'm excited for the cornerbacks this week. Quinyon Mitchell versus, Malik Neighbors will be a really good matchup. I know Neighbors hasn't played and, coming back. So he dealt with I don't know if it was a concussion or it was another injury. I'm not really sure what it was. But Quinyon Mitchell, man, has been one of probably the very few bright spots of this defense where, man, so excited to see him play, just to get him more competition every week. Quinyon Mitchell versus Malik Neighbors is going to be, for years to come. That's the most exciting thing about this, rookie on rookie, and, can't wait for that. Q is showing the most fight that I've seen in a player as a first-round pick, and I think the Eagles got a huge steal. I'm really hoping in this game with Daniel Jones, and they're getting pressure. They're without their left tackle. Devin Singletary doesn't really scare me in the backfield at all. I really hope that they can get some picks. They can get some turnovers. I hope Q has one. It would be really nice. He's dropped 3-4 of them already at this point. So I like this matchup, but Q has been the most just so great. Just playing physical and doing this thing, and that's what we've wanted. Well, obviously with Cooper DeJean in the mix now, it's been great. I thought he had a really good game against Cleveland. It's like I'm already seeing him that he should be a safety right now. It's kind of crazy. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is a very good slot receiver. Wan'Dale Robinson is he's dropped some crucial balls in some games for the Giants the last few weeks. So he's had not much of a drop problem, but he has dropped some crucial ones for Daniel Jones. But the Giants are showing some fight. Wan'Dale Robinson was a guy I wanted in the draft in the second round from Kentucky. Really good slot guy. They move him around all over the place. So just depending, DeJean will be doing some other things, but if the matchup is there with Wan'Dale Robinson, then I think DeJean is a perfect match for him. We'll see how that matchup goes throughout the game, which I really do like. DeJean, I just think he's the jack of all trades. I think he's a Swiss Army knife. I feel like in the future with him, I think he should be doing a lot more. I think he's at a lesser value playing at one position. Now, he's got no choice now because, you're going to be getting some reinforcements back when it comes to Sidney Brown and James Bradbury, whether, going to safety or corner, whatever's going on with that whole situation, when they come back and when they're actually on the active roster at some point this season, we definitely got a huge upgrade with Cooper DeJean over Avonte Maddox inside. I think we all know this, and man, did it really show last week against the Cleveland Browns, and hopefully it could show again this week, between his coverage and just really wanting to hit. We've talked about culture with this defense, or culture in general, where I think Nick is starting to lose the locker room and focus on being physical, and, the tackling has got to be better. But when I see fight in players, especially DeJean, that was his first game. Really his first game last week. So, he's giving it his all and really wants to put a good impression on the coaches. And it looks like he is caught up with the defense and terminology and stuff like that, which is really good. So you're really hoping for him to play better every single week. And I want to see more. And hopefully DeJean can maybe cause some, turnovers. And I really liked him downhill, maybe blitzing. And I think he packs a punch. Even if he blitzes on the outside or something like that, and he can cause someone else to, get a sack or get a play or whatever, make the quarterback go inside, and that guy's ready to hit somebody. And I think between Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, it's been years since we've had this guy, especially with the secondary. And let me tell you, those two players, love them a whole lot. And it makes it more exciting every single week to see them go against, better talent every single week. And the talent will get better down the line of this schedule going forward. So can't wait for that. Now, yesterday's practice, there was a few players that didn't suit. Jalen Carter was one that didn't suit for practice. I don't know if this is just a rest day. I wouldn't think it's a rest day, but I don't know why he didn't suit up. Darius Slay did not suit up either. Would it make me upset if he didn't play? Probably not. You know what I mean? I'd rather have Keely Ringo in there, Isaiah Rodgers, or something like that. Eli Ricks did not practice either, so I don't know what was going on with Eli Ricks, but Slade did not practice. I don't know if they just rested him for one day, just for him. Usually with the older vets, they like to rest guys at least once per week. Once per week for every week for practice and stuff like that. They usually do that with the older guys. So I don't know what's going on with Jalen Carter. Hopefully it's not nothing serious or an injury that just happened before. I don't know. It didn't happen on the field. This was before practice. So before practice even started. So hopefully he didn't have something maybe didn't end up maybe he wasn't on the injury report the day before, maybe a couple days ago or something. So we really need Jalen Carter for this game. The DT's got to beef up a little bit more. We really need more on that edge this week. And depending on what Fangio's doing with the 5-man fronts, if they're going to put Zach Ball on the line and, Nakobe Dean's going to have another game to really prove himself because the flash is there, but consistency is definitely not at linebacker, especially with Nakobe Dean. Trotter Jr. should have more of a shot, going forward. And that's what I think with that. So losing Slay, my opinion, I don't even care. I'm already kind of done with him and his attitude and just how he's been acting as his farewell. Don't care if the season goes great or goes horrible, goes wrong for this team. I'm just going to make my money and just play, and that's it. So that's how I feel about that whole situation. Bring in Isaiah Rodgers and bring in Keely Ringo because I know they'll pack a punch, and I know they will be the gift that keeps on giving to this defense, knowing that they're giving it their all every single game. And they're not afraid to tackle and be violent and be physical, and that's what I like about that whole situation. with the secondary and going into obviously some of the, Eagles are relatively pretty healthy going into this week. Obviously, besides, Fred Johnson's playing left tackle. Looks like they're not even moving Mekhi Becton to left tackle. Mekhi Becton is so excited to go back. Mekhi Becton does not want to play at MetLife at all because he knows the field is horrible. But he has something towards the New York Giants for some reason, because the Giants were always the team that had more Super Bowls, and the Jets literally had, just had nothing. The Jets won they won a Super Bowl with Joe Namath, and that was like an eternity ago. But Mekhi Becton feels like he's more motivated for this game because the Giants have always seemed to be better in New York when he was a New York Jet, and he hated that and hated that even if they faced off, they never really could beat them. If they ever, I don't know when they really faced them. I don't know the last time they did. But, other than that, guys, it's pretty much it. We went through, obviously, Saquon Barkley's storyline and how they're going to use him. The Eagles in the first quarter of games, what are they going to do in these opening drives? Because they look horrific every single week. And, by this time, would you make a change? Do you want to change it up a little bit? It just seems like you just can't I've never seen a team look so just so in these opening drives, like just no rhythm, no nothing. And hopefully they do change things down the road with this, and obviously going over the injuries and going over Malik Neighbors and obviously Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and Wan'Dale Robinson and some of these other ones that should be good. I think DeJean will play a little bit, play outside, be playing, inside, and depending if it's nickel or dime, and maybe they'll move him around a little bit. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna look even better when Sidney Brown comes to the mix, and maybe they'll let DeJean fly around a little bit, and we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about the storyline, everything in general. AJ feels they're gonna unleash Saquon Barkley this week. That's a great thing. Other than that, guys, pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Make sure you like the video. Helps out the channel out tremendously. And I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, False Side? Peace out, guys. Peace.